Hi, everyone. I'm going to give this a second here. I'm going live on my Facebook business page, my Creative Stamping page, and I'm going live on YouTube at the same time. This is all very brand new to me. I'm still learning how this all works. So you'll forgive me if there are glitches in this, but I thought if I don't do it, I won't do it. So I'm just winging it here, folks, and I'm hoping that this is going to work. I'm going to give it a couple seconds. I didn't let anybody know that I was going to go live, so nobody really knows that I'm doing this. So we'll wait and see if anybody actually joins us tonight. My goal is, and if you're watching this after the fact, especially on YouTube, my goal is eventually that I go live in my group every month, so that people can kind of see what we did in club this month and how we did it and what we did. Um, we don't always, give me a second here. I'm trying to get another system up here so that I can see what's going on. So that's why I'm looking off to the side. And I appreciate your patience with me here as I do this. Um, so I'm hoping that maybe I can see some comments. If you're watching, give me a little comment so that I know that you are there. And I'm curious to see if I can see comments. This is Betsy Kreider with Be Creative Stamping. I am totally winging this tonight. I'm using StreamYard, which is a software which allows me for you to see me here, but it also allows me to have you see my desktop here. So I'm hoping that I'm working this all out to figure out how this is working. So let me see here. Cindy, hi Cindy. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely, yeah, check in and let me know what you guys are seeing, because that way that'll help me to know that this is working. So excellent. Yes. Yay. So what I wanted to do was show you, let me go to me here quickly. Okay. So here's my goal. Moving forward every month, my clubs, my actual in-person clubs, and that's primarily my business for anybody that's unfamiliar with me and what I do. I'm primarily in person. I live in Pennsylvania, and I have clubs that meet, seeing dual screens. Excellent. That's my goal. Hi Deb, so good to see you. So glad you're here. Um, my goal is to every month meet with my my in-person folks. I meet in Lewistown, Pennsylvania. I meet in State College and Juniata County in Mifflintown. I meet with some fantastic stampers and friends every month, but I'm trying to reach out into those that I don't get to see every day and those I don't get to see every month. I'm hoping to kind of build more of an online presence with you. So I'm gonna, hopefully my goal is every month to go live, probably in the first week or second week of the month. I'm gonna try to be consistent. I need to pick a date. I haven't been able to figure that out yet, but I'm gonna pick a date and I'll let you know. But it'll be following my clubs, and I'll show you what we made in club that month, so you can see what we did, how we did it, and I can give you some tips on what to do. So enough of the chit chat. I'm gonna jump down and actually, and again, StreamYard is very new to me, so I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. So we're gonna go with. I'm gonna switch us and toggle us over to my desktop, so you can see that, and hopefully you can see that clearly. And what we've got here is I'm going to show you the Lazy Days suite, or bundle that I use. This is typically not a bundle that I would have purchased as part of out of this new catalog that came out. And if you don't have a new catalog yet, please reach out to me, let me know, and I'd be happy to send you one. This is not typically a bundle that I would choose because it does have a lot of pieces to it. And it's one of those where it's like when you're making a card here, it's going to take a few steps to get it done. But I just fell in love with it. It is such a cute set. I love the words. As far as you can kind of mix and match it. It's always a good day. Home is where our story begins. When you take time for yourself, we spend time together, when it's your birthday. There was just a lot to it. And there are these great dies that create like this trellis. and porch scene, and we're gonna make some cards using this. So let me show you what we did in club this month. This is the card. This is the first card. We actually did two cards. This is the first one. So let me show you this. And let me go like that. There you go. So now you can still see me. Yay. You can still see me, and you can see the card that I'm showing you, so that you can we can still see each other, which is good. I wish I could see you. But this is the card that we're making this month, and you can see it does have quite a few pieces to it, but I love this white on white tone of the porch. And I actually cased this card from Amy Condors. She's an amazing demonstrator, so talented. I love the projects that she comes up with. And I case this card straight from her. So let me show you how I did it. The first thing I have is my card base, okay? And I wanted to have a little bit of coloring. The white on white, it does get a little lost. So I don't know if you can see it very well here, but there's a little bit of a pool party that I added here. So I'm going to take one of our blending brushes. I'm going to take my pool party ink. And I am going to just add a little ink here. And this is a brand new ink pad, so it is nice and juicy. And I want to make sure I swipe off on my scrap paper a little bit first, get a little bit of that excess ink off. And then I'm just going to lightly sponge right here in the center of my card, just to give it a little shadow of pool party color that's kind of popping through there. You see that? That showed up pretty well. Okay, so that is all I'm doing there, just using a blending brush, adding a little bit of color. Get that out of the way. Then what I want to do is I want to start to build my scene, and I went ahead and I stamped. This is just a quarter sheet of paper, and I stamped the rocking chair, the table, and the little pot of flowers. And I'm going to use my blends to color this in. So what I did was I'm using crumb cake. I'm using the light and the dark crumb cake. And I'm just coloring in, make sure you can see me okay there. I'm just coloring in the rocking chair and the little slats. So tell me what you think. Is this a bundle? Is this a bundle that you would have gotten? Is it a bundle that maybe you're looking at, but you're not sure if you're going to get? It definitely is a different, it's one of those that it does have a lot of steps to it. And these would be a pretty special card, or if you like coloring and you like all this detail work, I kind of like it. It's a little relaxing to me to just sit here coloring. Gonna get that seat colored in. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just color in the table while I'm at it. Right. Blends make it so easy to color whenever we're doing this. Give me a shout out if you're here. This is going to be a first for me. My goal is to try to go live every month at some point, and I'm sending this to YouTube as well. So if you're watching me on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe. I'm starting to try to build that presence a little bit more. It's not my greatest suit, but I'm trying. I'm going to go back with the dark crumb cake, and I'm just going to add some shading in. There's no right way or wrong way to do this. I'm just adding where I think it should go. There's nothing special. Maybe towards the back of the seat, just adding a little bit towards these back parts of the rocker. And I'm going to go back. Don't worry about if it looks kind of yucky or ugly at first. You're just adding some color on there. This is a low stress zone. We're not thinking about it. We're just coloring. Add a little bit here and there, because there's all kinds of variations in the wood and what we want. Right? Perfect. Then what I want to do is just come back in with my light and add, maybe blend a little bit if I feel like I need to blend, maybe in the seat a little bit, maybe the top of the table. Just kind of blend some of those shades in, and I'll pull this up a little bit so you can kind of see it. There you go. And I'm just adding in that shading where I need it to be. All right. Same way with the plant. What I did is I'm using Granny Apple Green, and I'm using the light color Granny Apple. And I'm just coloring in all my leaves. And to make it easy, on myself, instead of trying to add in shading, do you see how each of those leaves kind of have like a little line going right down the center of it? I'm going to make it nice and easy by taking my dark granny apple green and I just draw right on that line. And that gives it a two-tone. If it doesn't have a line, just add a line. It's easy, right? And there are my leaves. And I'm using the new copper clay. Copper clay is one of the new in colors. I'm in love with this color so much. It's a very pretty rich brown. And I'm going to color in our little pot right here. There we go. Perfect. And I might add a little bit of shading with the dark. If you're just joining me, thank you so much. This is a new thing I'm trying here by going live, so that you can I'm going live on my Facebook page and on my business page, just to kind of show you the cards that we made this month in my face-to-face club, so you can get an idea of what we're doing. I am using Pool Party, and I'm going to use Lemon Lolly. Lemon Lolly is one of my new favorite yellows. I'm going to use that for the lemonade here in my little cups. And I'm using the dark. And I used Pool Party then for my, just the space of the top of the cup, just to kind of give it a little bit of a clear look, or give my glass a little bit of a blue tone. So there's my coloring. Super easy, right? Just a little bit here and there. And then what I did was I went ahead and while I had this, I took the dies. Before I did that, I want to use adhesive sheets. So when you have these intricate dies with all of these tiny little die cut pieces, sometimes trying to glue those down is a nightmare because you end up with liquid glue all over your hands. So a nice way to do this to make it a little easier is by using our adhesive strips or adhesive sheets. And adhesive sheets come in 12 by 6 size, and there are 12 in a package. Now what I did was I trimmed mine up into 1-inch strips. And I'm going to flip this over because I know that my die is going to go like this. That's where I'm going to die cut that. And I'm also using the little porch railing, and I'm going to cut that right there. So what I want to do is I know where I'm going to cut that. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to add some adhesive sheets right here. So it's double sticky. It's double-sided stick. So I'm going to peel this off, and then I'm going to put this down right there. Okay. And it might come off a little bit on your fingers. It just rubs right off. No worries. And I'm going to pick up the next one, and I'm going to put that one right here. It doesn't have to be right on top of it or anything like that. It just has to be on there so that when it die cuts, it's going to put that adhesive on the back of your die cut for you so that you don't have to add any adhesive yourself. So I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to grab one more, and I'm going to add that one right here. Got it? Easy. And I apologize. I work from a table, so my desktop tends to shake a little bit. So sorry about that if you're getting a little movement. But there is my piece, and I've got all of these adhesive sheets on the back. You see them there? Easy, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up all of my dies, and I can actually, depending on how you stamp, you might be able to actually die cut these all in one shot. So if I put my little rocker on there, my pot on here, and then my table right here. Depending on how you stamp it, you might be able to run those all through in one shot. If you don't, just do them separate. It's no big deal. But once you do that, let me put this aside so you can see. Once you do that, then you're going to get all of these pieces. All right, so there is my rocking chair, my table, my pot of flowers, and then here is my trellis and my railing and my porch railing. Now it cut out much longer, but what I did was I just trimmed it because I don't need the whole thing, so I just trimmed it up. But if I flip this over, you're going to see how it has the adhesive sheet right there, so that when I peel this off, this is already sticky for me. So I'm going to slide this out of the way, and I'm going to start to build my card. So I'm going to peel that off. And I'm just peeling off the different sections. There we go. Everything is sticky. So if it didn't die cut all those little pieces out, don't worry about it because you can just peel those right off. And I'm going to find the next section, peel and pull that out. There we go. So this already has sticky on it. I don't have to add any glue, but actually I forgot a step before I go any further. So let me grab my Pebbled Path ink pad here. My Pebbled Path ink pad, let me grab my stamp set, and let me grab my porch, my little porch railing, which is right here. Stamp it on the fly, folks. We're stamping on the fly. Okay, so there is the stamp for the porch, and I want to create this porch down below, and I'm going to use my Pebbled Path ink, but I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it super dark. So I'm going to stamp off first, and then I just stamped about there, and then I did it again, stamp off, and went beside it. It doesn't have to match up exactly. If you have a little bit of a gap, that's okay. I'm going to do it again right below it. And then again here. So that I'm just creating that porch in which our rocker and we're going to build there for our porch. If you're just joining me, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Give me a little shout out. This is a new thing for me. I'm hoping that you like it. We're making one of our club cards that I made in club this month in May. So here is my porch railing and my little trellis up across the top. And I've got my porch that I've just built here by stamping. So I'm going to put this, let's say approximately right there. There's no right way or wrong way. Nice thing is just make sure it's kind of going straight. I might have to hold that up a second here. Just make sure. There we go. Nice and straight. Put my card on like that. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add that porch railing. And because again, I added that adhesive to the back, I can just peel off where that is. Okay. And if I missed, which this one looks like I might have missed a little bit, like I might not have gotten enough, but that's okay. I just add a little bit of extra glue where I might need it. Don't need a lot because it's got some sticky on it already. It's just, and the other pieces will hold it on. So I'm going to add this right about there. There we go. Perfect, right? Hi, Donna. Hi, Jen. So glad you guys are, Jen, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, Jen. I'm doing it. I said to myself earlier this evening, if you don't do this, you won't do it. So I forced myself to sit down and go live, even though it scares me to death. But I'm doing it, girls. I'm doing it. Okay. So there's the first part of my porch. So I've got my porch, I've got my railing, I've got my boards. Now it's just a matter of building the rest of it on. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of my little rocker. Okay. You go, girl. Thanks, Jen. Donna, good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, thanks, Donna. I haven't seen you in forever. I miss you. All right, so I'm going to add my little rail porch. I did dimensionals on the swing, but the table I just glued down right here. And you see how those gaps don't even matter. Don't even worry about those gaps. They don't even matter. And there's my porch so far. Isn't that cute? And then I want to add my little flower pot. So I'm going to add a little bit more glue here. And what I did here was I just kind of picked up the railing, picked up this a little bit and just kind of tucked it underneath. You kind of pick where you want it to go. And there's that one. Cute, right? Oh my gosh, I just love this card. Now I also went ahead and stamped. I was using, it's the Something Fancy dies, and I just used this one here to die cut a piece of white to stamp my greeting. I'm so glad you found it too. I'm going to use some dimensionals and pop this up here at the bottom. All right. Put this at the bottom of my card right here. Perfect. And then there is the front of my card. How easy was that, right? It's a little bit of work to add but it wasn't that much, right? A little bit of die cutting won't hurt us. A little bit of coloring is always good. Now, the nice thing is you can kind of make this whatever you want. In mine, it says, it's always a good day when you take time for yourself. And you can see how I stamped one of the little buckets. And I'm going to stamp this one here in a second. You're going to see me do this on the second card. But I stamped the little bucket and I stamped a little barrel flower, leaves and flowers. And then I did the little bird right there. He's so cute. So you can see that here. And of course, I always like a doubled inside. So you know me, I love to have a finished inside. It just makes the card complete to have that extra right there. So I'm going to add my glue and I'm using some Pool Party to kind of tie it all together. And I'm putting that in here. You see that all right? Now, I didn't stamp my greeting in there. I can do that later, but you know how to do that. You can see that here. Okay. And then what I did for my envelope to kind of tie it all together, I stamped the same thing on my envelope. That's typically how I do it, is whatever goes into the inside is usually what goes on my envelope. I actually added a little bit of shading with the Pool Party. I don't know that you can see it very well there, but there's a little bit of shading with the Pool Party, just again, so that it all kind of blends together. Yay. One card down. We're good to go, right? Okay, excellent. All right, so that is, and do leave me a comment. I'll tell you what we'll do. I think Mary Ellen does this on hers, and I'm going to copy from her. If you leave a comment tonight, letting me, just saying hi if you're watching, leave a comment, and then I'll do a random, there's a random comment generator that I can do through Facebook, and I will send this card out to someone. I'll pick a winner and I'll send it out to someone. So there is card number 1. All right, for club. So that's the first one. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one, because my goal is not to keep these like long videos. My goal is just to jump on here and show you our club cards and what we did this month. Here is card number 2. Thanks, Donna. Thank you, Jen. Oh my gosh. Thanks. Thanks, Cindy. I'm so glad to be with friends. I'm not out here stamping all by myself. That makes a big difference. Thank you so much for sticking around and joining me. This card I cased from the catalog. This card I cased right from the catalog, and you can't see the lighting very well, but can you see you can't really see the folder very well in this. Maybe if I go, let's try this. If I go solo view, can you see that a little bit better? Maybe a little better. So what this is this is the brick folder. So this is the new brick folder that we have. It's the exposed brick, and I didn't have it at first. So when I first made this card with club ladies, we used the painted texture folder, which worked out great. But I finally did get the exposed brick folder, and I got to play with this, and I do really, really like it. So this card is just cased right out of the catalog. It's what made me fall in love with this set and this bundle. So I wanted to show you how to do this one. So this is, again, a Pool Party base. Okay, Pool Party base. You've got your piece that we've embossed with our exposed brick folder. And then what I did was I went ahead and I did the die cutting for the porch with the trellis. I did that with crumb cake. I also went ahead and pre-die cut in this packet. I went ahead and did the die cutting for the Old Olive little ivy that we're going to use on our porch. Now I colored, so let me show you how I colored these, because there is a little trick to doing this. So I went ahead and pre-stamped. This one I went ahead and did the crumb cake again, and I'm using the light first. And I learned a trick the other day. I was watching a demonstrator do a video, and I can't remember the demonstrator, so I apologize for that. But one of the things she said was that if you are using your blends and they squeak, that means you're coloring way too hard. Who knew? I did not know that, because I've done that where it's like I'm squeaking it, and it's, so she said I guess I'm putting way too much pressure on my blends. So I've learned to lighten my touch a little bit. So if you are squeaking, you might be coloring too hard. I'm going to add a little bit more shading here, and there is my barrel, right? Now I want to show you, and I'm using Old Olive in this case. I used Granny Apple Green on the other one. I'm using Old Olive, but it's the same technique. I'm just going in with the light first. And I go back and forth. I used to be a big fan of the brush end. Lately, I seem to always be using the little nub end instead. I feel like I'm getting a little bit, ooh, guess what? Oh, I got a dry marker. I got a dry marker. Yes, no squeaking except for with cheese curds. Got it. I hear you. Okay. Well, that marker is a little on the bad side, but we're going to make it work anyway. So, because this is a handmade card and we can do what we want to with it. We're going to make it work. Mine's going to have a little extra spaces of green there. There we go. Perfect. I got to replace this marker, so put that aside. I wanted to show you how to do the birdhouse. Okay. So in the birdhouse, in the catalog, it had like this shading and I wasn't sure how to do the shading. So I kind of figured it out. Don't know if this is how they did it, but this is what I did. I went through with the light copper clay and I added a line of ink just along this right-hand side of my birdhouse. All right, didn't color in the whole thing, just added a little bit of coloring along that side. I'm trying to figure out my lighting, ladies, and hopefully I can figure this out as we go. That looks okay. But I didn't want it super dark. I wanted it more shadowish. Shadowish, is that a word? I've been making up words tonight. I did a recording with Mary Ellen, and I think I made up like 3 words just because that's who I am. Hey, Chris, how are you? What I wanted to do was lighten this up a little bit. So I'm taking my color lifter. Use your color lifter. It's a great tool, and I'm blending that out. I'm blending out that color to give it more of a shadowed look. And I'm just going over top of it because it lightens it up and gives it a more shadow look. So it's not quite such a stark color. Shadowy, there you go. Shadowy look. Mary Ellen's the brain of the operations here, everybody, just in case you trust me, she's the brains of the operation. Okay, so here's the little bird, and I wanted it to kind of have like a two-tone look. So I just took, again, my copper clay and added just a little bit right on the belly. See that? Just a little bit on the belly. I'm going to have to check with my StreamYard people and see how they do that as far as getting a bigger, a better view for you folks. I'm learning. And then I'm taking my lemon lolly and I'm just blending in that lemon lolly right over top of that copper clay. So it gives it almost like an orangey tone to the belly. Never ever, she's so wrong. I'm not, you can't call me wrong. I'm on a live, silly woman. People are watching this. You can't call me wrong. Nice try. Okay. So I went ahead and already did the die cutting, but you can see how to color. Really easy to do, right? I'm going to go ahead. I've already got those die cut, ready to go. Again, I've got this piece that has already you can see those adhesive sheets are already on the back. I don't need the whole thing of this, so I'm going to trim this up. And I think I'm going to trim it right about there. I'm just going to cut that. Let's bring our card in. And I'm going to start to work just from this pre-embossed piece. And I'm going to peel off my backing like that. Now, I'm not going to peel the rest of that off yet because all I want to work with is this post and these pieces of ivy. So I'm going to need some glue dots. And what I want to do here is I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to put it on this top piece of ivy. So right there on that top petal, that top flower. Oh, I got a shadow too. I'm full of shadows tonight. And I'm going to put one on the top of the second one as well. And then I'm also putting one at the bottom of this one. Actually, I'm going to put it on that one. So I put a glue dot at the top of this one and at the bottom of this one and at the top of this one. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I'm going to actually have our ivy wrap around our porch, around our porch post. So I'm going to start from the back here and I'm going to just attach it with that glue dot right to the back. And you might not need the glue dot since this is already sticky, but I figured because I'm kind of bending and twisting this as I go, I thought a little extra adhesive reinforcement wasn't a bad idea. So I just twisted that around. Did you see that? I just twisted it around to get it where I wanted it to go. And then I'm attaching the glue dots to the back. So there's the start of my ivy going up my post. Okay. And I'm going to start this one approximately in the same place where this one ended. Bring this around. Now, the reason I didn't put any on this was because I knew I was going to have like a little bit of extra. So I'm going to snip off what I don't need. So I actually don't need this little bottom piece down here. There we go. And I might add one more glue dot just to make sure it's sticking. Oh, me being the brain, I hear you. So what's everybody think? Do you like this little trellis? And you like the ivy? Oh my gosh, right? How cute is that? I just fell in love with that in the catalog and thought I need to make that. So I might add a little bit of extra glue just because I took away some of my sticky area here. I might add a little bit of glue right where that ivy is just to make sure it's going to stick to my card. And I'm going to line this up at the bottom. Bring that up here. It's going to go off the side a little bit. That's okay. I want that. And I'm going to line this up along the top. There we go. I kind of, oh, I forgot to take the adhesive off the back. That's why it's not sticking. Go ahead and peel that off. And that goes, whoop, helps if I get it straight. There we go. And just give that a good push because I've got all those extra glue dots in there. I just want to kind of push that down a little bit. And there is our card front. Cute, right? Yes, Donna, it is. It's really cute to see how that's just kind of twisted around there, just kind of finding it and making it. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And there, I saw somebody was talking today that when you get this exposed brick folder, there's two ways you can go with it as far as whether the brick's coming out at you or kind of going back in. I think the right way might be for the bricks to kind of come facing you, but I like it better when it looks like it's indented in. So all the cards that I have done with it looks like it's kind of like the bricks are kind of sinking in. I think it's actually backwards, but I kind of like it. So, and it's my card and I can do what I want, right? We can make it our own. I'm going to take, I stamped Welcome Friends on a piece of a very crooked cut piece of Calypso Coral. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very crooked, but that's all right. It's, I'm going to cover it up so you're not even going to know. And I'm going to add some, I'm going to add that right down here. Let's do here. That goes there. Then I'm going to add on my barrel. I'm going to do 2 of that. And that's going to go right here. Okay. My little birdhouse also is going to get a dimensional right there. And he's going to hang, let's say right there. Okay. And then this little bird, I'm going to go ahead and just use a little bit of glue on the back of him. You could use a glue dot too. That might hold pretty well, a glue dot. And I'm going to add that so that he kind of looks like he's coming right off the end of that pot. But he's pointing right towards that Welcome Friends. You see that? Cute, right? And then the last piece I have here is I do have a piece of linen thread. And I'm going to tie a bow. I'm just doing it like I do my shoelaces on this. When I do linen thread, I just find it a little easier than doing like the bunny ear technique, which is one of the ones that I do for like larger ribbon. I'm going to trim this up a little bit. Whoop, wrong scissors. So obviously, because it's not cutting. Get that back. Another glue dot. Another glue dot. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I have such an item that's really thin like this, like a linen thread or a baker's twine, sometimes the glue dot's too big. So what I try to do is I actually tear it apart so that I'm only using half of it. I might save that other half for something else, or I might just throw it out with my scrap paper. But I find that sometimes the glue dot is just too much glue dot. So I just tear it in half and only use half of it so that I don't have as much glue dot sticking out around. And there is my little twine holding my birdhouse on. Isn't that cute? Right? I just loved it. It's so simple. Again, a little bit of die cutting, And then what I did for my inside was I stamped the little birdhouse again. I stamped the bird that's flying going across there. Okay. Cute, right? So those were my club cards this month. So this one and this one. We're using the Lazy Days dies. I did do one other card. I'll show you. We actually did 3 projects in club, and it was probably a little bit too much because I think every club went until about 8:30 this month. But I did do one other club card, so let me show you that. But it's not part of this suite, but I really wanted to show you this bundle so you could see the Lazy Days bundle and what all it can do for you. It's just, I just love it. It's just got some, it's just really pretty card. Here is the other card that we did. It's something completely different. We used the Painted Posies folder. And so this is an embossing folder. So I used the Painted Posies embossing folder, and then I used the small sponge blending brushes. And we blended on some Lemon Lime Twist, some Berry Burst, and then some of the Azure Afternoon. I am never going to get that right. We blended some of those colors in. We added a little bit of the Lemon Lime Twist ribbon, some nice vellum here to kind of give it a softened look. You could stamp a greeting in there if you wanted. We did some sponging on there. So those were our club projects for May. There we go. Let me come back to me here. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Like I said, the goal here for me is that I go live once a month. I got to pick a date. I'm thinking it's going to be probably like a Sunday or a Monday. It might be a Monday night. Might be the Monday following all my clubs. So my clubs go in the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the month. And I'm thinking the next Sunday or Monday might work. That I'll go live quickly and show you what we're doing. So I'll broadcast to my using StreamYard, which I'm learning how to use, and come in here and hopefully be with all of you and show you all what we did. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again. Oh, Donna, I'm glad you liked them. Jen loved it. Excellent. Thanks for being with me, and I will see you next month. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and I'll draw a winner to send one of these cards out to you for commenting and being with me tonight. So remember to like and share and comment and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.